Joining us now on the drum is Michael Ware. You probably just heard him then. He's a former foreign correspondent with Time and CNN. He was for many years a frontline reporter in the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. He acquired an intimate knowledge of the inner workings of Al-Qaeda, sometimes too intimate. At one stage, he was kidnapped by Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Michael, great to see you. Thanks for coming on the drum.
Yeah, g'day, mate.
Now, as a journalist, you're so interlinked with this story. You went to Afghanistan in 2001 to cover the hunt for bin Laden. What was your initial reaction when you heard the news that he'd been killed?
Well, obviously, like everybody else who was outside of the military and command information loop, I was taken quite by surprise, and clearly there was some delight. But I must confess that the first blush of reaction that I had is still what's coursing through me, even sitting here right now, and that's a kaleidoscope of faces. I don't know, for some reason, with his capture, since then, all I've been doing is seeing the faces of so many American boys I know who aren't with us anymore, but also a number of Pakistanis, Afghans, Iraqis, and that's just my dead. So it's given me pause to reflect upon that, and of course that lends me to give broader reflection to what we're at almost 6,000 combat deaths from the wars, hundreds of thousands of civilian deaths from one cause or another. So yeah, it's really been a moment of quite some deliberation for me.
What difference will it make to Al-Qaeda losing Osama bin Laden?
Well, look, I think we can all be agreed on the fact that this is a great symbolic body blow to the organisation. Their titular head, their figurehead, the man who has inspired this particular vision of Al-Qaeda, this branding of the Al-Qaeda franchise, this McDonald terrorism. I mean, he's played this sort of inspirational role. Operationally, however, I think it leaves the command leadership pretty much untouched. I mean, from my dealings with Al-Qaeda operatives and those who work with them, my appreciation is that pretty much, I would guess, in September 9, 2001, with the assassination of Ahmed Shah Massoud, he knew what would be coming. So he's been the spiritual leader in hiding, on the run, while it's people like Ayman al-Zawahiri and others who have been the day-to-day operational chiefs.
Was he still bringing money into Al-Qaeda? Was he, in a sense, dispensable?
Look, this is the other thing about Al-Qaeda. No matter what it is he was and wasn't doing, Al-Qaeda is an organisation built for loss. This is a terrorist organisation at war. Now, and they've proved over and over again their ability to replenish and to regenerate. They've lost untold foot soldiers, facilitators, bomb makers, particular areas of expertise, mid-ranking management, high-ranking strategic thinkers, and yet they haven't laid down. So these guys are regenerating and regenerating. So whatever it is that Osama was doing, despite his distinguished status, is replaceable.
Will they use his death to regenerate?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. He's a great shaheed now. He's a martyr. Even due to the circumstances of his death? Because of the circumstances.
What about the bits of hiding behind a woman, of living in luxury?
Do we know that was Osama? I haven't heard that. I know that one man...
That's what's come out today from US officials, but I'm assuming Al-Qaeda people won't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, that will be tossed here and there and whatever, but at the end of the day, this was a stunning success, a breathtaking operation for the American administration. I mean, you have Navy SEAL strike teams in a nighttime airborne assault unleashed from American bases in Afghanistan, punching through the night across the worst of the Pakistani Badlands, striking deep into Pakistani sovereign territory to put, for the first time that's been acknowledged, American boots on the ground since these wars began, and to take on the compound, and someone went in with a kill shot to the head and took out Osama bin Laden. Now, Al-Qaeda's got another version of that story, I'm sure, that their leader, dying as he lived, defying the infidel, refusing to surrender, going down in a blaze of glory against their crack troops. Now, you think you can't play that one?
Yeah. Anthony?
I was going to say, isn't there a sense that the narrative that we've been told in the last years is that, Osama was the worst terrorist in the world, and yet now we find out, assuming this is true, This guy was in a compound with no phone, no internet, as supposedly the most dangerous man in the world. It's almost surreal and absurd that the media and politics have created this man as the worst person in the world, and yet the guy was living seemingly in luxury, and yet cut off from the world at the same time as well. Isn't that...
Well, for me, I mean, you know, I've always associated the term old school to Osama bin Laden. I mean, given all the American assets at the administration's play, I mean, the great strength and also its weakness has been reliance upon SIGINT and electronic surveillance and other forms of information gathering. So I've said for many years, I can guarantee you one thing: Osama bin Laden wouldn't have a cell phone within 100 yards of him, right? Internet, you've got to be joking. What's his use of that? Plus, you know, as we see, it was, you know, through this pair who were first identified that the couriers, I mean, that's old school. You know, you're sending messages literally man to man. Yeah. And it's always been my assumption that you probably could have counted at various times on one hand the number of people who actually knew where Osama was sleeping tonight. So I dare say certainly in the beginning years it would have shifted quite a lot. That there would have been periods of living really quite rough. Who knows how long he's been here, obviously for a period. But, you know, and the people who would have actually known where he was, like really known, to them $25 million would have meant nothing. These were people who weren't willing to die for him, were itching to die for him.
So, Michael, even though he used prehistoric communication methods, the Navy SEALs are saying that they seized a whole lot of computer drives from inside that compound. Is there anything that's likely to be on that could be intelligence that could be used to help the US?
I mean, let's put it this way. If ideally, obviously, presumably, would have been great to capture him, to